When You Trap a Tiger, chapters 4, 5, and 6 by Tay Keller. Chapter 4. Helmoni throws the front door open with a bang and squeals, "Hello, my girl's home to see me." Her voice travels all the way up to our bedroom, and I run down to see her, my feet pounding against the noisy old stairs. Helmoni is thinner than the last time I saw her. Her colorful silk tunic and white pants hang looser than usual. Her jewel pendant rests in the U-shaped dip between her collarbones, deeper than before. But she's still as glamorous as always, with her lips bright red, her hair permed and dyed blackest black. In her arms she carries 4 big grocery bags filled to the brim with food. Mom's already at the door, dressed in Helmoni's pajamas and greeting her with questions. "Why weren't you here? Why didn't you answer your phone? Remember when I told you we'd be here at 6? We had we had to stand outside. And why did you get so much food? That's too much food." Helmoni just laughs. "Oh, my daughter, so nosy," she says before placing her grocery bags and her knockoff Louis Vuitton purse in Mom's hands, as if Mom were a butler. Mom frowns, but before she can protest, Helmoni sees me and opens her arms for a hug. "Lily Bean," she says. Her whole face lights up, and I didn't even know someone could be so happy about anything. I run down the hallway and slide into her arms, soaking up her love. "Careful," Mom sets Helmoni's bags on the kitchen table and crosses her arms. "Don't knock your Helmoni over." Helmoni wraps herself tight around me and scolds Mom over my head. "Hush, young lady. At least Lily is loving me." Mom sighs. "I do love you. That's why we're here." Helmoni ignores this. She places her hands on my shoulders and leans back so she can look at me, grinning when she notices her nightgown. "Oh, look at you. You're a little mini-me. So pretty, so shiny." I laugh. "Shiny? Sam's the one who took the sequin nightgown, not me." "Like the sun," Helmoni says, winking. Helmoni is the only person in the world that my invisibility never works on. She always sees straight to my heart. "Helmoni," I say, pulse hiccuping as I think of the tiger, "I have to tell you something." But Sam appears, padding quietly down the creaky stairs and hovering in the kitchen doorway. "And my moon," Helmoni says, walking over to hug Sam. Sam stiffens as Helmoni wraps her up, but she relaxes after a moment, leaning into Helmoni, breathing in. Nobody can resist Helmoni. She's like gravity. Helmoni pulls back and strokes Sam's white streak. "So pretty, you hair." "No," Mom says, "please don't encourage her. It's unnatural." Sam glares at Mom, and Helmoni twirls the streak in her fingers. "It run in our family. I have this when I little too," she says, winking at Sam and me. Mom's voice is tight. "A bleached streak is not a genetic trait." Helmoni doesn't even look at her. "And so fashion. Sam looked like a rock star." Sam grins. Mom takes a very deep breath. Mom hates the white streak, but Sam refuses to do anything about it. She claims it's not her fault, that her hair just naturally grows that color. It's a whole thing. Helmoni turns back to Mom and frowns. "Why the girl's hair so wet?" Mom clears her throat as she puts away Helmoni's groceries. "Like I was saying, they are all wet because we had to stand outside in the rain. It would have been nice for you to, be here when you said you would. I had to use the old window pane trick and climb inside, in front of my daughters." "Always through the window," Halmoni looks at Sam and me and clicks her tongue. She go out, she go in. Even the attic window she climb out. You mother was very sneaky child, so much trouble. Mom sputters and Sam and I exchange a glance. I don't know how Mom could climb out the attic window. It's impossibly high, but Halmoni always exaggerates like this, and it's funny to picture. Sam bites back a smile, I swallow a laugh. And for that matter, you shouldn't be driving anymore, especially not in the rain, Mom continues. If you needed to get groceries, you should have waited for me to come. You need to be careful. You need to, Tst, Halmoni hisses, holding up one finger. Sam and I used to watch a TV show about a dog trainer who used an angry hissing noise to tame dogs. This is the same noise. Mom clenches her jaw, then tries another line of questioning. And what about all this stuff? Why are you living like this? She gestures to the stack of boxes and furniture in front of the basement door. Halmoni shrugs one shoulder. The basement floods, so stuff come up. Sam raises an eyebrow. You carried all this up by yourself? Halmoni turns to her and winks, which is typical. She doesn't feel the need to answer questions, and I don't mind that. Mom, on the other hand, does. No, seriously, did you carry this up the stairs on your own? You know you could hurt yourself. She pauses. Where am I supposed to sleep? When we lived here before, Mom slept in the basement, wedged in between all Halmoni's things. You sleep in living room on the couch, Halmoni responds, like this is no big deal. I expect Mom to argue, but she walks over to the boxes. Okay, well, at least let me move this stuff. We can push it away from the basement door, and I can check out the flood damage downstairs. Sam, some help? Sam stares at her. Mom sighs. Lily? I start to walk over, but Halmoni grabs my wrist and pulls me back. No, no, no moving those. Mom blinks. They're in the way. Halmoni waves her arms in front of her like she's warding off Mom's annoyance. No, no, today is not auspicious day. When I move boxes out, that is a lucky day. But today is dangerous day for spirits. We will move another day. A dangerous day for spirits? I swallow. I have to get Halmoni alone so I can ask her about the possible tiger spirits. Moving things on unlucky days very dangerous, and breaking things. Halmoni closes her eyes and shudders like she can't even imagine. If you break something, oh, that is very bad. Mom looks like she might literally rip her hair out. Sam raises her eyebrows at me like, here we go again, and backs up in the hallway. This isn't a new argument. Mom always gets annoyed with Halmoni's traditions. Mom grits her teeth. That is ridiculous. What? But Halmoni points her finger at Mom, cutting her off. You are not the mother. I am the mother. You are no more asking questions. You go change your clothes. Why are you in pajamas anyway? Mom opens her mouth in defense, but Halmoni claps her hands. I set up dinner now. Lily, help me. I didn't exactly volunteer, but Halmoni has a way of creating her own reality. Besides, I don't mind helping. I follow her to the kitchen counter and Mom gives up on the boxes. She grabs Halmoni's raincoat and stalks out of the house, down to the car to fetch our suitcases. From the doorway, Sam clears her throat and I glance back at her. She hesitates, like she's waiting for something, and I mouth, It's okay. Go upstairs. I feel bad for sending her away, but Sam doesn't like cooking or setting the table or doing any chores, really, and I need to be alone with Halmoni. Sam frowns and turns away, mumbling something about her friends as she heads back to the attic room. When she's gone, I whisper, Halmoni, something happened. She tucks a strand of hair behind my ear and kisses my forehead. Yes, little one, I want to hear about that, but first, time for Kosa. Yes, but this first. Moving through the kitchen, she pulls bowls and baskets out of cupboards and sets them in front of me. I don't remember the first time she showed me how to do a kosa. It's just something we've always done together. We lay food out for the spirits and the ancestors and let them feast before we do. For the ones who gone before us, Halmoni always says. When I was little, I used to pretend that Dad would come for kosa to eat with us. I made the mistake of telling Sam once that the food was for him. Her face twisted up and she spat. He's dead. This isn't a game. She never liked kosa after that. After Halmoni heats a plate of red bean rice cakes, she hands them to me, and I arrange them in a bamboo basket the way she taught me. Carefully, lovingly. They warm my fingers. This very important to do on days of big change, Halmoni tells me as she pours wine into small ceramic bowls. When people come in, when people go out, we do this to keep spirits happy. She leans closer, her breath tickling my ear. When spirits are hungry, almost as scary as when your mother is hungry. I smile. What about when Sam is hungry? Halmoni's crinkly eyes grow wide. That is most scary. I laugh at Sam's expense, feeling a little guilty. Then I lay dried squid and anchovies on a small plate while Halmoni prepares the meal, and I listen to the melodies of Kosa. Halmoni hums a song I don't know, probably a Korean lullaby, and the house seems to sing along with her. The cabinets whisper as she opens and closes them, and the water whistles as she washes vegetables. The thing about Kosa, about all of Halmoni's beliefs and rituals, is that I've always taken them for granted. They make sense to Halmoni, so that's good enough for me. Her magic never needed an explanation. But now, with the tiger, understanding it feels important. I saw something in the road, I tell her. What you see? She asks as she chops a cucumber. I swallow. Um, I think I have seen one of the hungry spirits. She sets down the knife and turns to me. Her eyes are intense. What you saying, Lily? What you see? Suddenly I'm nervous. I don't know. I guess it might have been a dream? Halmoni leans closer. Dreams very important, Lily. What do you see? Mom would tell me not to encourage Halmoni. Sam would tell me I'm being weird. But with Halmoni, I'm safe from judgment. A tiger. She hisses through her teeth. What's that tiger doing? I know she's not upset with me, but she's still upset, and I can't help feeling like I've said the wrong thing. It just stood there and then disappeared. A full force knockout wave of panic hits me, and I whisper, Am I going crazy? Halmoni wraps her fingers around her pendant and leans down so her face is close to mine, so I can smell her milk breath. Lily, crazy, not a good word, not a thinking word. You seeing truth because you are a special one, and that not make you crazy, okay? I nod, unsure what to think. The tiger felt real, but it couldn't be. And what do you do with things that feel real but aren't quite? You mom doesn't believe any of this. Her world is small, but you know the world is bigger than what we see. Halmoni presses a palm against my cheek. Now be safe and stay away from tigers. Tigers very bad. I know I'll stay away. Tigers eat people and stuff. It was just she shakes her head. No trusting them, okay? They tricky, but you don't listen to their lies. You remember that. Yeah, I remember your stories. Yes, yes, stories. But maybe she steps back and tilts her head. like she's trying to make a decision. Something about her tone sounds off, not like the Halmoni I know. Maybe there are more stories than I tell you. I push away the plates and cutting board in front of me and hoist myself into the kitchen counter so I'm sitting in front of her, ready to listen. I can't remember the last time she told us a new story. Like what? The tiger's looking for me, she says, running her hand down my arm, lost in thought. I steal something that belonged to them long, long ago when I little like you, and now they want it back. Wait, what? The story is about you? This one real. Tiger's real. I lean back. She's never told a story about herself before, and stealing from tigers doesn't make sense. Yesterday, I might not have believed her words. I might have thought she was making this up, but because of course it can't be real. Just like a disappearing tiger can't be real. And yet, I tug on one of my braids. What did you steal? If this story is real, maybe the tiger is too, and maybe this is why it appeared. But what could be so important that tigers would chase it across the world? And what would it feel like to steal from tigers, to do something so powerful and so dangerous? She frowns. Not important, little one, not safe to ask too many questions. But the door bangs open again and Mom huffs and puffs back inside, thunking two suitcases on the floor. No, no, but, Halmoni tisks at me. We don't talk about that. Mom pushes her glasses up on her nose and catches her breath. Talk about what? Harmony gives me the shh eyes and don't say anything. And I don't say anything. Mom blinks. Do either of you want to tell me? Harmony says, voice too sweet and innocent. No, I pass. Mom tilts her head. You pass? On what? On telling me? Harmony smiles and nods. Pass. Mom looks back and forth between us, and I shrug like I know nothing. Mom seems like she wants to ask more, but she just sighs. Okay, well, I'll go get more of our stuff. Lily, no sitting on the kitchen counter, she says before heading back down the stairs. I slide off the counter, but as soon as Mom's gone, I turn back to Halmoni. What did you take, and why, and what happened? Halmoni hands me a stack of plates. Enough of that. You set table now. Kosa help keep you safe. Make tigers stay away. She turns away from me and finish chop. Oh, turns away from me to finish chopping vegetables. Normally, when we set up Kosa, she'll sneak me a bite to eat early, winking and whispering, "Eat fast so the spirits don't see." But tonight, the mood is different. She doesn't offer, and I don't ask. I do what I'm told and set the table, thinking of tigers and thieves and Halmoni's stories. Because Halmoni's always told us stories of impossible things, I'm oh, and now I wonder, what if they're possible? Chapter 5. Let me tell you a story. The tiger story. In case you're wondering, in case you are sitting, waiting, wanting. Long, long ago, when Tiger walked like man, two little girls lived with their Halmoni in a small vine-covered cottage at the edge of the village, at the top of a hill. They were sisters with long black braids, and they shared everything together, including a love of rice cakes. One day, the Halmoni went into the village to buy rice cakes for her girls, but a tiger stopped her as she walked home. He came out of nowhere, as if he had jumped from the sky, and stood right in front of her, blocking the path. You have something I want, the tiger said. Now, when a tiger wants something from you, it's very hard to escape. The best thing to do? Run. Don't talk to the tiger. Definitely don't listen. So the halmoni tossed him the rice cakes to distract him, and as he swallowed them whole, she ran. Delicious, the tiger cried. But if you give a tiger a rice cake, he's going to want something to go with it. More. Halmoni didn't get far. The tiger caught up and pounced in front of her. But Halmoni was out of treats, so he gobbled her up, swallowed her whole like a rice cake. The only thing left was her headscarf floating gently to the ground. Still, the tiger wanted more. He wasn't satisfied. Tigers never are. But he was clever. He took Halmoni's headscarf, and when he went to the little cottage days later, he wore it as a disguise. Knocking on their door, the tiger said, "Little girls, I am your Halmoni. I am locked out in the rain and cold. Let me in." He ran his claws against the walls of the house. Scritch, scritch, scratch. The little girls knew something was wrong. Their Halmoni's nails were never quite so long, never so dirty. Halmoni liked her manicures. But the girls missed their Halmoni so much. The tiger said, "Little girls, I have rice cakes for you, little treats for Unya and Eggy. The little sister wanted her Halmoni so badly, and the tiger called to her, "Trust me, little egg, believe." So she ran to the front door and pulled it open. Eggy held her breath, waiting, and the tiger roared. Here's a lesson: never trust a tiger. Eggy quickly realized the tiger was not her Halmoni. Halmoni was not the roaring type. So the girls ran, and the tiger chased them across deserts and oceans, mountains full of snow, and forests thick with rain. They ran and ran until the land just stopped. A deep pit of nothing stretched out in front of them. End of the world, end of the story. "This is it," Unya cried. The tiger closed in on them. He was so hungry. "Help," Eggy thought. She shut her eyes and begged the sky god, "Save us, please, please, please." To her surprise, the sky god talked back. He said, "Okay, fine, but tell me a story in exchange." Not even sky gods can resist a story. So Eggy and Unya thought fast, and they told him a story. I don't think you'll be shocked to hear that the sky god saved the girls. Stories like these have happy endings. Just as the tiger leapt to swallow them, a magic rope fell from one end of the sky and a magic staircase from the other. Unya grabbed the rope, and Eggy took the stairs, and they climbed up and up until finally they were safe in the Sky Kingdom. There, the sky god told them they could stay with him forever, but they needed jobs. Living in the Sky Kingdom, it's expensive. So the older sister became the sun, and the younger sister became the moon. Unya was happy, but Eggy cried. Everyone always stared up at the moon, and she didn't like that. She wanted to hide. So the elder offered to trade places. "Don't worry, you can be the sun instead. Nobody can stare at the sun." Problem solved. They were happy again, and they took their places at opposite ends of the sky, safe forever. And the tiger, there he was, way back down on earth, asking to come up, but the sky god wouldn't listen. He didn't want to hear a tiger story, so the tiger was banished. When I was little, when Halmoni told us this story year after year, I was always satisfied with the ending. I never wondered about the tiger. I never stopped to ask, what was the tiger's story? I never stopped to think, what would happen if the tiger came back? Chapter 6. I wake up sweating, sheets twisted, pillow damp, bed creaking. My stomach growls, and I realize I'm desperately hungry for a midnight kimchi. So I untangle my blankets and slip out of bed. As I tiptoe across the room, past my sister, and beg the noisy floorboards to keep quiet. They don't listen. They whine under my feet. Still, Sam doesn't stir. I walk out of my room and down the stairs, gripping the railing, squinting in the dark, trying to see through the shadows. Something is weird about the shadows. They seem to dance and bend in front of me, like they're cast by something I can't see. I rub my eyes and shake the sleep out of my head, and the shadows go back to normal. I creep down the stairs, past Halmoni's bedroom, past Mom sleeping on the couch. I tiptoe toward the kitchen, and then I stop. The boxes that were pressed up against the basement door have been shoved aside, leaving a clear path. I know Mom wanted to move the boxes, but I didn't think she cared enough to upset Halmoni. And anyway, she wanted to move the boxes over to the wall, not just a few inches to the side. Even weirder, the doors cracked open. An invisible weight presses against my chest, making it hard to breathe. Outside, tree branches blow in the wind, scritching against the windows, and the basement door seems to sway back and forth just a little. I creep closer to the door. Don't get me wrong, I've seen scary movies before. Sam and I used to watch them together. And even though I spend the whole time with my head buried in her shoulder, I know the rules. Number one, don't go into the basement. Number two, and definitely don't go alone. But this is different. This isn't one of those scary basements. Sam and I spent a lot of time playing in this basement whenever Mom was gone. We would act out the stories Halmoni told us and invent fairy tales of our own. With all of Halmoni's old things, there was always something new to discover. The basement was my favorite place. And now it calls out to me. It tugs at my chest, and I feel it somewhere deep inside, right beside my stomach. Oh, right behind my stomach. The wooden door is warm against my palms, and it creaks when I push it open. I hold my breath, waiting, not sure if I'm afraid or excited. Nothing happens. I fumble for the light switch, which apparently doesn't work. So I go by the moonlight that spills in through a thin window at the top of the wall. The splintering wood prickles against my bare feet as I walk down the steps, and then I'm at the bottom. First, I'm relieved because the basement's empty. Then I'm upset because it's empty. The basement is small, actually. It felt bigger when I was little. The room used to be a puzzle. How do you get from one end to the other? Which boxes do you climb over? What path do you take? Now, nothing. Nothing at all. Not even water, even though Halmoni said the basement has flooded. I kneeled on the floor and run my hand over the carpet. It's bone dry. Shouldn't it be damp? And shouldn't it smell? I don't know, wet? Mildewy? The basement smells like it always has, dust and full of memories, like the pages of an old book. I bite the inside of my cheek. Maybe I'm being paranoid, but none of this makes sense. If the basement ever flooded, why would Halmoni move all her things? And why would she lie? A noise startles me and I jump to my feet. It's a deep, groaning, animal kind of noise. And I stumble back toward the steps, tripping over my own feet. Fear nips at my toes as I run up the stairs, taking them two at a time, barely bothering to breathe until I'm out of the basement. Door shut firmly behind me. I lean against the shut door and steady my breath and my wobbly legs. I should go to bed now. That's enough for one night, and I've lost my appetite. I hear the noise again, and now I realize it's coming from the bathroom. The door hangs ajar, and I linger in the dark, peeking in. And inside the bathroom, I see a shadow beast, a mess of black scales, hunched over and heaving. It growls and moves like all its bones are broken. My heart freezes over, but then the shadows slip away. And it's not a beast at all. It's Helmoni, and something's wrong. Dun dun dun. Cliffhanger. Come back on Monday for more.